And there we are.
Welcome everybody to Ladies Night Live. So we're probably going to get a lot of info from Yoda. Well, a little bit of info from Yoda about her um, festival, and then also I want you to say everything about this festival in December as well.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's start here. We'll go ahead and start with the soeparty24.com, and that's SOE Tactical. And you guys know John Willis over there. If you watch his channel and all that, he makes custom bags and containers for all your ammo and any gear, fighting gear. It's all made in the USA by United States citizens with United States materials, and he's got quite the heck of a shop set up. So anyway, December 4th is John's birthday. December 7th is Scully's birthday. And then December 8th is Carrie's birthday. So there's going to be a huge party on December 7th. No fee to get in, no fee to vendor. There's vendor tables, like the spots available as of right now. So they're all outside, I believe, but you need to get a hold of Curie for that. And you can also find them. I think there's SOE Party on Facebook. So it'll go in. It's going to ask you for how many people are attending, just for a head count. They're not. If you look at the, what they charge and all that, it says $0. So you'll put that on your calendar and come in. It's going to be a great way to talk to people, look at different rigs, get a setup. There's 2 headliner musicians. It's going to be Saturday night. There's going to be plenty of food trucks. There's going to be plenty of beer. I mean, you name it, it's there. Live fire dancing, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be neat. And it's free camping. So if you want to camp, bring your rig. You can also set up out in the field and you can camp. There's porta potties, showers, all of that. So it's all there. And then, yeah, it's absolutely free. I mean, you just can't go wrong there. Just come hang out, meet people. Let's see, Angry Prepper's going to be there, and a few other people. I think he's gonna fly in. I think is what he said. He said he's ready to put in his truck to sleep. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so he'll be there. Yeah, so some of the guys that All American knows. So you guys need to come out. You come
Yeah.
out. It's in Camden, Tennessee, and starts at 3 p.m. and then we'll end it probably about midnight. I mean, you can still sit out by the campfire and all that stuff if you want to. Nobody's rushing anybody out, so it's all good. But it also gives you a chance to look at John's factory, see some of the goods he's got on hand, and what kind of tactical gear that you guys need or anybody else needs. So, yeah.
That sounds good. Lucy,
Where,
I'll send you the link here in a second. I am trying to do it now. It's just being super slow.
yeah. Where the s'mores at? You're gonna have to bring the s'mores with you. Can't make your own. I'm not cooking for anybody out there. That's the nice thing, Carrie's just like, relax, sister. We've been working all year. This is time to have some fun. We will have the freeze dried food there and some of our gear, tinctures, things like that. So that stuff will be there. So I will be working a tent, but not doing the vendor tent and cooking. So it'll be nice. But yeah, it'll be neat. And these are not the people that are going to be there. It's going to be some SOE people and overlanders. This is really, really neat rigs. Have you ever seen some of those overland rigs?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. We have people that put millions of dollars into these rigs. I mean, you want to talk about disappearing into the woods and never being found. They've perfected it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, usually you see a lot of these, and then there's other vehicles, their friends and that kind of thing, and they're the ones that are hauling the 4 wheelers and razors and all the off road equipment, and they just disappear. So a lot of fun, but
Man.
they have big compartments they got to fill, which is why I got to get the freeze dried food out there, and then they're bringing in a lot of tactical gear, a lot of different gear. Homestead Medical's going to be there. I think he's going to have his stuff set up, and That's always good because everybody should have a tourniquet, and especially if you're doing that kind of stuff. G wanted to make T-shirts that said, had the Grumpy Acres Farm logo. I think he is making them. Had the logo on there, and then in upside down letters, it says, "If you can read me, please flip me over." So we'll
That's
see how
funny.
those go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a lot of fun, but yeah. I don't know. Is somebody just not figuring out that no boys are allowed? I mean, y'all can be in chat. We don't care. But this is about sharing with other women and young ladies how to be prepared and how to do preparedness and what's the ultimate goal of preparedness, homesteading, and that kind of thing. So we're trying to drive more and more women into the prepping. And men, sometimes you guys can just be overwhelming to some women. And so, they really need to hear from another woman that's prepping and homesteading in order to get motivated to go. So that
And
they're
also, some of us women think of things that y'all men don't think of.
right.
Yeah.
Aaron's
I know
Aaron's
that for sure.
identifying as a deer. Huh?
I know that for sure about us women think of things that men don't to prep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do miss some stuff, don't they?
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah. Cooking with Mike wants the link. No, Mike, rules don't change for any men. Yeah, if there was something pertinent that we were like, hey, we need to have this person on there. Like, for me, I would think, actually, I would use his wife. I gotta talk to her and see if we can get her on video. And that's what they teach is self-defense. And they do it with guns and all that kind of stuff for women. So it's a really great program. So, was that? I might as well just leave my glasses on. My glasses are all stretched out. I don't even know what's going on. Animal food for your pets is one thing many people forget to prep. Yeah, for sure. I was actually just having that conversation with Skane's girl today because she's doing something like she makes her dog's broth and then she freeze dries it and all that. But everybody's starting to see, well, what got it. Everybody's been talking about, their side hustle. I've been talking about that for a long time and how to make your homestead work for you. And so she's like, nursing is going to consume so much of my time. What am I going to do? And she's like, I know side hustles, but I need to find that market and see what is successful. I told her flat out, I said, your bone broth. I said, that's what you're doing. Just don't do it for the dogs. Do it, package it up. There's a chef that is in Tennessee. He makes bone broth and then sells it. It's really, really good. So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. Just finding a market and finding something that you enjoy doing. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're going to hate it and then you won't do it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so let's talk Kentucky. Kentucky was interesting. The numbers were not what even the event planners were planning on. They were just going based off of previous years, previous festivals on how many that they would have. It was sad. You can tell we're right up against an election. People are being very careful what they're spending their money on. So right now, my suggestion for people that are going out and vending and all that, what you need to have, you just a little bit of something, but it needs to be completely focused on either comfort food, right? So Curie at Thunder Hill Farms, she has a lot of marinades and that kind of thing, but she also makes this chocolate yummy fluff and then this cheesecake stuff. I mean, it's just crazy how good it is. And those are the comfort foods that you need while you're, stressing out a little bit. Those will stay in the freezer in the whole 9 yards, so you can just take them out as you use them. You sitting there watching the election, you can have you some crackers and bacon jam. That bacon jam is to die for. And you can get all that stuff over at thunderhillfarms.com, but not .com. Thunderhill Farms on Facebook. Sorry, she does not have her website up yet. And but you can go in and order some of that stuff. She's actually that company is actually who we're going to be using for some of our recipes when we go back in a camera and get the membership and all that stuff up. She will actually be using her treats and some of the sauces and things that she does in our cooking. And anyway, squirrel moment. But I was talking to Skeens about that. And we just gotta find her. Oh, I'm sorry. I have not been drinking. I am so tired, and I'm getting lost up here. So, but so go back to that. People just aren't spending money. They're afraid. They're afraid of what's coming because the products that did sell were geared toward prepping and homesteading.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I followed you anyways, even though you went from one topic to another topic, because All American does that anyways. It doesn't matter.
Everybody else is. Everybody else. Have you ever seen that meme when a guy talks and then the railroad runs straight, but when a girl talks, all of the tracks are crossed all over the place?
Oh, that's him.
Yep.
So, but
yeah, so I can follow that anyways because I'm so used to it. I hear it every day. So
yeah, awesome. Well, thank you.
That's like me when I'm doing projects. I might have 6 different projects on the go.
Yeah. Oh, check this
all
out.
At one time.
Yeah, check this out for Kentucky. I told this story on our live last Tuesday, and but it was really funny. So I didn't buy raffle tickets, hardly ever do, and so it was really I like for other people because sometimes when you start seeing staff and volunteers and speakers and all that, you start seeing them win, and you're like, huh. So I tried not to get raffle tickets. Well, local prepper, he had got some raffle tickets and he couldn't stay. And so he's like, here, take my raffle tickets. There was a vacuum master and 2 great big huge boxes of the bags. And so I was like, sweet. And he goes, and if you win it, he goes, because that is yours. He's like, if you win it, I'll send you local prepper sticker. You slap it on that. And every time you do a video, then you'll just be promoting me. And we both laughed. And so I said, deal done. So he hands me the tickets. Otherwise, I would not have been in the raffle room. And so one of the gals that I know very well, she's sitting behind me, 2 rows back, and she actually won it. Well, she's in a predicament right now. And so she's got some things going on and has to get established and all that. She's got nowhere to put it, had no way to get it back to Tennessee from Kentucky. She didn't have space. And so we were trying to scramble and figure out a way we could do it. And I saw the panic in her face. And I was almost positive I was praying because I thought she was going to say, well, just pull another ticket. And I didn't want to take that chance. And so I ran up to her and I just said, hey, I'll buy that from you. And so we negotiated right there. And I gave her some money and then are bartering other products. So I am now the proud owner of a Backmaster. I think it is the 210, Backmaster 210. That's going to be awesome. That's going to drive a whole new corner of our business. So I'll be able to do the sous vide meals, which I've had some people ask me for, and I had no way to do it. And now I do. So this is good. You guys know what sous vide is? SUOS, and then separate word VIDE. Nobody knows what that is. Okay, so sous vide, basically what you can do, you take a plastic bag, so it comes with plastic bags, put your meat in there. If you're doing fish, a little bit of olive oil in there so it doesn't stick to the bag. And then you can do all your marinades and that kind of thing. You even put a full meal, so you wanted a steak and some veggies and that kind of thing. You could put that all in there. And then you stick it in boiling hot water. So there's actually a sous vide cooking element and a container that you can buy. I went in and looked, put them on my wish list today. For the whole kit, it's about $119 off Amazon. You might be able to find them at sousvide.com and see if they're there. But basically, all your meals are pre-prep marinated. You're not doing the wasting time with 24 hours sitting overnight and that kind of thing. You're just throwing that stuff in the hot water and cooking it. And you could do it with just regular boiling water, but you really have to have a good temperature gauge to watch the water temp in your boiling water. So like for example, boiling eggs will only be, what did I miss?
Okay, so Cooking with Mike B says, who's that very sexy granny at the bottom of my screen?
Terminator. That's Terminator. Oh, that's funny. But so we've got a whole new market now, and that
There
kind of
you
thing. So it's gonna be fun to push that out and see how that goes and all that. But and I like doing that better because then I don't have to. I don't know. When I cook for people right now, it's kind of in a casserole mold and all that because that's what they've asked for, kind of like a take and bake. So I put everything together and then they can take it and bake it or reheat it. The sous vide is going to be so much easier. I just got to see who actually has the temperature and the tool in order to be able to do it before I just start delivering their meals that way. So I don't want to just do that and change it over. Don't fix what's not broken, I guess.
Yeah,
So
there you
we'll,
Yep.
so we'll just add extra large freeze dryers down. Lucy, and the damn sensor went out on the bottom one. So now we have to ship it back. The part's $145 and we have to pay for the shipping there and the shipping back. So I don't know how much it's going to end up costing, but we have to pay for the box before they'll even mail the box out. And it's just a mess. But Staines Girl is actually on her way here. She'll be pulling in a couple hours if nothing went wrong. And I've got lamb she's going to help me process and get wrapped and sealed. And then I've got food prep since that freezer. I know, Missy, I'll get you your lamb. It's sitting in. You need to be hollering at G. He's the one that's supposed to have that already done so I can get it shipped out. And he's just doing the cuts and that kind of thing. But where was I? Oh, so she'll come in. We'll start getting this stuff wrapped, and then she's going to help me. Since the freeze dryer is down, obviously vegetables and all that stuff, I've got to get preserved so they don't go bad. So that I'll just start working the other freeze dryer harder, which is good. They like being worked hard.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, the SOE party. Anybody who missed it. Probably not the best place for kids for this particular party. You've got it. They're both rap artists for Saturday night. I wonder if I could pull that up and see who that is for Saturday night's entertainment. And there's going to be alcohol. Nobody's going to be stupid, but there's going to be alcohol flowing. And other thing that you have to remember is that there's going to be fire everywhere. So have you guys ever seen our videos of the pooper? Sometimes Garen will do that and the pooper comes out. There's going to be like burn barrels going. There's going to be poopers going. There's going to be fireballs everywhere. And this is going to be a hoot. And there's different VIP levels as well. So that I don't know how you get into. That's going to be a Curie question as well. Did she email it to me? Because I thought she just sent it to me. Here we go. Like I said, just go into this link. Okay, there's now a vendor form up now. And so if you want to vend, you'll need to go to the vendors and put that in, get all that information going. And then you would submit. Let me see if I can. I was trying to get back to the website. She must have just sent me that particular link. But let's see, SOE, follow with me, SOE, and then party 24. So if you guys are doing it with me, you'll be able to find the website as well. And doggone it. SOE party 24. Why is that not coming up? I'll have to call Carrie. Maybe we'll get lucky. She'll pop in here and she'll put the link in. But yeah, otherwise, I'd be glad to tell you. Hey, can you get to SOE Party and see who those musicians are? Why can't? Oh, you don't want to, or you can't? So let me try without this.
Lucy, are you prepping your hair there?
No, I'm hiding myself.
Oh, don't do that.
I got to get my hair cut. It's so thick and
Lucy, the more you do that, the more they'll tease you. You know that, right?
no, I
They'll,
know.
they'll- yeah, they'll
That's
keep
okay.
persisting. But take the compliment too, right? And say thank you.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to
I
do.
was working in my garden yesterday. I'm closing my garden up, and I had a monarch butterfly flying all around me in the garden.
That's so
It
cool.
Nice.
was really, yeah, this so late in the fall because we've had so much frost and even snow, and I couldn't believe it was still able to fly around. Usually they fly south.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
now
took
they're out.
pictures of it.
Yeah. He was a special one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
She can
I
go
was
to Instagram now. I'm sorry,
I
Lucy.
lost one of my breeding turkeys. I went
Uh-oh.
down yesterday morning. Yeah.
From what?
In where I have them in the barn, I'm having problems with this big, huge, fat raccoon, and it ripped open all the chicken. I had up on the one big window where the door is. I have just chicken wire so they can have air flow for now while it's warm, and it ripped all the chicken wire and everything. So I boarded it all up, but I lost one of my young
Oh,
breeders.
Oh
That's
man.
okay. I'll get that raccoon. I got 2 pitchforks down there, and if I see it out on my deck again, it's getting a pitchfork.
you know what's been bad here is the possums. Like I don't know because it was cold and then it warmed up and then now it's cold again. So they were coming in looking for food or something, I guess. But
I saw my first live possum here in Ontario. This was about 10 years ago when my son had gotten married. We were down, it's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive from where I live. And we were down and we stayed at the in-laws and where they got married. And it used to be dairy farms years and years ago. And they still had the big, huge, like 50, 60 foot weeping willows, big, massive trees. And this is where they got married in the backyard. And we got up the next morning and I kept looking outside and I kept looking out and what the heck? Because I'd never seen a possum in my life except, if I watched a nature program. And my son comes out, brings me a coffee, and he says, "Oh, that's that possum we've got living under the shed. You guys got possums here? I didn't think they were here in Ontario." He says, "Oh, yeah." He says, "We watch them all the time. They're always in the backyard running around."
huh.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, look at there. There we go. I found it. I can be smarter than the phone. So
You
let's
just got to
see.
dig a little deeper.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You have to dig a little deeper. That's what I had to do. It was trying to get me over on Instagram and all this other stuff, and I am not. Well, now I just lost it. I am not an
Oh,
Instagram person. I tried, but I don't know. Okay, so let me see if I can turn that. All right, so your entertainments are where are you going, dude? Our little, I think it's Whitey, WYTE, and Supreme Lyric. And so those are going to be the 2 rap artists for Saturday night. Young kid, I don't know. The one guy's tattooed all the way up to here. Looks pretty hot. I don't know. But yeah, those bad boys. But yeah, so it's going to be a good time. Lucy, you should come down.
yeah. I have to have a good vehicle first before I can drive anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
our truck is broken down. Well, we can go short distances until my son fixes it and everything.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
I don't know. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
I have no clue what is going on
I
there.
don't either.
Did you guys hear that new movie that's coming out? Gosh, it's on preparedness into the world type stuff. There's a new one coming out. I can't remember I wish Garen was in here. He would help me, but can't remember the name of it. It's supposed to be out November 12th, I think. because they're pre-selling tickets or something, and it's done by is that Angel, the one that did the production studios? Is it Angel Studios? I think it's Angel Studios. So the same studio that did the Traffic, was it Freedom Song? So, but yeah.
Unless I can watch it on YouTube, I don't watch movies at all.
I think it's probably out there, Lucy. Well, not this new one, not yet, but it probably will be.
No, it wouldn't be yet if it's in at the theaters and stuff.
Right on. But Moose Man kind of agrees with me. It's freaking weird.
I thought so too.
Yeah. So, but, yeah.
Oh.
So what'll happen is that he'll get out of here, and then gloves will come in.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I almost wonder sometimes they're not same people. But anyway, I don't mind a troll. So my company, I can do whatever I want. So if you want to be a real bad troll, I'll do like John did. I'll just have John make me a troll t-shirt, and then we'll just wear all the trolls, and then pick one out of all the trolls for that week, and they can be the discount code for whatever they order on freeze-dried food. I have no problem doing that. So, but that was one of the things too. So this festival is the first festival that we've actually sold buckets and people loaded up the buckets. And so usually what we'll do, we'll have buckets there, and then if you purchase the food, you fill the bucket with as much food as you can get in there, and then we go through everything and take 5% off, and then you get your 5% in your buckets. And this was the first festival. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that just aren't spending their money, and if they are, it's on stuff like that. They're just getting ready and prepared. But I think a lot of it too is the storms. So rerouting people and all of that. It's still a hot mess. So talk to one of the sheriffs that he's in the Appalachians, and it's the Northeast Kentucky, and talked to him, got more information, and then talked to a few other people, got with William Bond. He had just gotten out of there, and so he gave us some more information that we needed. Found out what happened with that helicopter. So remember, the helicopter was blowing supplies all over the place. Everybody was mad. Knew it was conspiracy theory. It is not the case. What happened was they needed to go in and know where to land supplies. So they had people clearing out areas, and you had to mark it with the circle and the X for where the helicopters land. And so the weird part is these were all red X's. So an error was made because the Navy Mounties, they were not supposed to land on the red. Theirs are white. And so the helicopter pilot did make a mistake. And so when he came up, he realized he made a mistake. So he had to tilt the helicopter so that he could get back up. And when he tilted the helicopter, the wind, because there's so much pressure for him trying to get down. I don't know if you guys have ever been under helicopter propellers. It's intense. And so I could see where that would be blowing all over the place. So, but yeah, so I don't know, but so that was debunked. The terrible part that is also debunked is that people are, whether they want to say it or not, there are a lot more than just a handful of people missing still. And one of the deputies was telling me, he said, I've seen these type of things in the hospital. He said, I've never had to do it out in the field and watch it out in the field. He said, I just could not imagine. There was a guy that he got stuck in the mud and was there for so long that the mud compacted around his leg, and he couldn't all the way up his thigh, almost to his hip. They had to take a hacksaw and literally sever him right there so that they could get him out and get him to the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
This is the horrible garbage that is happening, and I cannot believe what our government is doing to those people. I just can't believe it. And I don't know, but so I don't know. It's sad. A lot more information that we're getting in. There's still bodies decaying.
Oh.
The dogs hit. The dogs hit. Anybody who knows cadaver dogs, I'll tell you this: the dogs hit the entire valley. They could not pinpoint. The entire valley was full of bodies.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just terrible. And you guys do your own research, but make sure you're doing the right research. Talk to the people that are on the ground. Boots on the ground are going to get you the truth a heck of a lot faster than mainstream media. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but also be prepared too, because nothing's filtered. So you're going to get the hard, cold truth. And so if you don't think you can stand the answer, don't ask the question. So in fact, it got to a point where, as the sheriff and my husband were talking, his lovely wife and I, we literally just separated from the conversation and started looking at the freeze-dried food, because it's not, she didn't want to have to relive it. She didn't want to have to listen to her husband have to relive it. And I didn't want, I don't want to have to live it. I can already imagine how bad it is. I can't believe this is happening in the United States. We're not a third world country, of course, because of Potato Head. Did you hear that? Now it wouldn't be Lucy because you're not in the United States. But Little Miss Pepper, did you know that we're all trash?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because we're white, or we're preppers?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
Ah.
If you vote for Trump, according to Potato Head, you're nothing but garbage. And then so Garen comes, he thinks he's cracking a joke, right? And he thinks I'm going to laugh. And so he's like, hey, he goes, you know what? And he starts telling me who said it and how it came up and that kind of thing. And starts telling me that we're all garbage. And then he says, then he looks at me and goes, but don't worry, we're garbage cans, not garbage cans. Right. And I look at him like, I immediately go back to George Lopez in my mind, right? And I like, my head is saying wah wah wah, and then but I turn around instead and I looked at him and I was like, wait, what? How did that come up and what was that about? And so I started making him walk me through it, walk me through the story and the interview and all of that. And or sorry, it wasn't even an interview; it was some statement he was giving from his office. It just, I'm really hope it's not the Oval Office, because if you said that about the American people in the Oval Office, you're provoking something. And so anyway, I was just trying to figure that out, and I'm like, man, they don't understand that the more negative crud that they do and the more they say about people, it's just making people mad, and it is going to force them to vote Trump. And possibly maybe that's the plan, because then everybody will know that Trump should have won this position. And then we're really going to see the theft underneath, and all hell's going to break loose. So I got to get everything done while I can. Anything in the city's got to be done before Wednesday, because Tuesday, I probably won't even go in Tuesday. They won't start releasing the polls until 7:00 at night. So might be okay, but man, it's been crazy. So in Oregon, and let's see, it was Portland, and then I think G said Seattle, and they're already having issues of people burning the ballot boxes for early turn-in. And so I'm like, and so for people like that, don't think you can't do anything about it. And then we are even hearing things coming through our feed on people that have gone in for early voting. You know how you usually get a confirmation that you voted and that kind of thing, that your ballot went in? There is no confirmation. It's a green light now. And so the little green light goes up, and you're just supposed to know that that's the validation and you're good. And so my thought is I'm going to be there on the day that I need to vote, because I don't trust the early ballots. And I also don't want any problems and that kind of thing. And I think anybody who had done early voting, go in and check and see if your vote got counted, because if it didn't, they're going to allow you to vote. If you're already registered in the system, it is going to tell you you have already voted. And so just take the 2 minutes out to go figure it out.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be chaos.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So your voting, Yoda,
Tuesday.
is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So do you vote through? So are you going to be having your live Tuesday night?
Oh yeah. You may hear me
Okay.
screaming.
That's
Final.
okay.
Yeah. This
I'll scream with
election.
you.
Yeah. Here's the deal. This election is one of those things they'll start giving us the early turn-in vote numbers. They'll start giving us local first.
Yeah.
So at 7:00, those will start rolling in. But most numbers really not going to have a good idea. If it was just local, we would have an idea by 10 or 11 p.m. However, this is national. So you figure you got the West Coast, Hawaii, all of that behind us, some parts of Alaska behind us, or excuse me. Yes, that's right, behind us. And so it's probably not going to be, we won't know who won for sure, or what, if we're lucky to be fast, it's going to be on Wednesday. And then this is just, I think this is going to be, they're saying it's a tight race, and it must be because they're all losing their ever loving minds. There's not anybody on the left that is not just trashing and, saying horrible things about American citizens that are voting for Trump. So I just can't believe it. And then, anyway, and then if things get caught up, I'm trying to remember the last Trump Biden, I believe when did they call that? Do you remember, Little Miss Prepper? I don't even think they called it. I think they tentatively called it the following Wednesday, but it wasn't official until Thursday or Friday. And then there was some holdup on the certification. I think that was because of the voter fraud.
Yeah, a lot with that voter fraud thing that was going on. And so
yeah, it held up a lot of stuff, but
yeah.
So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, but just make sure that everybody's taking care of themselves. Don't go being a vigilante, just don't put yourself where you don't need to be. So, don't go in looking for trouble. Just
don't go to stupid places at stupid times with stupid people. Right.
Yeah. We had somebody was letting us know that I guess the high alert went up higher for Tuesday. They're talking terrorism and all of that. That's normal. So nobody be freaking out about that. Especially with the attempted assassinations that's been happening, So I can see that. But Bushcraft Rebooted. I like that name. Hey, so we did tell a few people about these ladies' night lives and in Kentucky. So hopefully they're jumping in. I do see some names that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, so, I seen that earlier too.
Yeah, we were trying to push this in Kentucky, especially when a lot of people, they don't know where to go, where to get started. So if we can help them here. And Bushcraft Rebooted, my crooked little homestead. This is Lucy right here. Say hi, Terminator. This is Terminator. Wave, yeah. This is your gal. She lives way up in the bush in Canada and does a lot of that, a lot of it. You heat your house yourself, right? You guys don't have a heater.
Yeah, with wood. We only heat with wood here. I do have a little bit of electricity, but I'm already set up. So if the grid ever goes down, we're set up for solar, or I just live the old way with lanterns and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to live the old way.
It doesn't bother me.
I had to live the old way yesterday. I'm telling you, things cannot. I know that SOE party is going to be so freaking good. You want to know why I know? How I know?
Why?
Because there's been an obstacle every single day. So I figured out how to work around the freeze dryer issue, and I calmed myself down and all that, and I figured it out. And okay, I know what to do. She's going to get this fixed. This is not a big deal. So I'll just do food prep, fix all that. Well, guess what? So as I was doing some of the food prep and getting things chopped and ready to go and put away last night, we had a mean storm come in for a long time, and we lost electricity. So we lost electricity at like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'm just standing there for a minute. It's still daylight, so I'm standing there and I'm waiting, and I'm like, all right, it'll be back on in 2 to 3 minutes. It's usually down and then right back up, and it did not. And then I'm like, oh, okay, finally 2 hours later, the power comes on. We're rejoicing, yay! And so I get on Discord for the Discord meeting, for community meeting. Get on there, so far we got electricity, everything's working. I can use my phone, and then the damn electricity went out again. So that was another, I don't even remember how long that one was, but I still had food out. So I just under the, because we have the kerosene lights and that kind of thing. Oh, I found my 2 oil lamps, the kerosene light I like better. I need to go see about getting some more of those. I usually have to antique for them, and I got an antique in a certain spot. I'm not telling anybody where it is because it's my spot. And so I don't want them to disappear. The guy does a really good job refurbishing them. And but the oil lamps that I had, it is time to change the wicks and the
wick,
the wick comes out of. So they were I couldn't get 2 of my lamps lit because I'm like, well, when did this break? Because I literally just used it last time Skins was here and we lost electricity. So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. What happened between then and now? I guess they just wear out. So, and the wick actually looks okay in one, and it looks big enough. It's just that the little turn knobby doohickey, it's not.
Yeah, they wear out.
Yeah, it's not sticking. It's worn
they
out.
They wear smooth. I had this old glass oil lantern, and it was my father's actually, and that you can order those parts. I got the parts for it. The little wheel. I got that cap that screws on with the little wheel to bring your wick up and down. I got it from what we call here Canadian Tire. They have all kinds of camping stuff and everything, and you can get all different parts.
We had somebody here that has it. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't have that lantern anymore.
There's somebody in America, and they're vending. And I'm trying to remember where I saw him. I saw him in Kentucky. It was the very first one in Kentucky. But then he didn't show up again. And they had all the replacement parts and stuff. And, but I can't remember the name of it. And so I don't even know how to go in and order from him. I would rather order from somebody like-minded than just, get on Amazon.
Off of Amazon or something.
Chinese part, So that kind of stings. I'll probably put a call out. Maybe a message out to Kentucky Sustainable Living and see if they know who that vendor was. So, and that vendor.
Have you heard of those? Have you heard of those lanterns? Those other ones that use naphtha gas, and you pump them and put air in it, and then they have little bags that set up in them, and you light the little bag. And it lights up like a 150-watt light bulb. It'll light up a complete room.
I know what you're talking about. They're the big lanterns. We use those outside for somebody owns. I don't know if Midwest owns them or if it's somebody private that just has them and brings them in to help out with setup and all of that. Well, now they've got lights.
Yeah.
But before we didn't have lights for Bartertown, and so they would hook those up, and I have seen those. But those are big, though, and I don't know.
Well, we have one. No, your camping one, your coal oil camping ones. We have one about that big. It's in its own box and everything because it's because of all the glass, but it's stainless steel, and we keep it in its box. But we keep naphtha gas because we buy it by the. I think it's a 2-gallon can, and we buy it and keep it stored away. So if we run out of coal oil, we have the naphtha to back us up.
Right. That's funny. Moose Man said that they hang white LED Christmas lights hooked together that are strung all around the house where the walls meet the ceiling, and a 12-volt marine battery and a cheap inverter to light up the house. Yeah. If the power goes out for 3 or 4 days. Yeah. I would be the person that would drive me nuts. Just my daughter, that was my daughter, as having the Christmas lights everywhere. I cannot. It drives me insane, absolutely insane, when people have their Christmas lights up before Thanksgiving has even come. And then they leave their Christmas lights up until March or April, May, until they decide it's warm enough to go get them. It would be so bad if they just turn them all off, but they're still running the freaking Christmas lights. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it drives me, I don't know why that drives me nuts, but it drives me nuts. And so then we haven't even, tonight is Halloween. Happy Halloween. That might be where everybody's at, actually. Just thought
Oh
about that.
yeah.
And so
That's
happy
right.
Halloween. And then,
It's raining here, so.
yeah, we got
We
some
got
rain
good
last
weather
Well, that
right now
storm,
for the trick
I
or treat.
watched that storm. The storms that
Did
were
you?
hitting Kansas and that I was watching on Ryan Hall. I follow it, Ryan Hall. And we all day today and the high winds. We were getting high winds and heavy rain.
The winds were terrible. I got stuck between the door of the truck and the cab in the back seat. I literally I got stuck. It slammed me in there too. You should see my knee hit the step rail. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
not short. I'm not short. My knee hit the step rail.
I'm short too.
I'm
Yeah, and
probably
then
shorter than y'all.
how tall are you?
5 foot even.
Okay. Lucy, how tall are
I'm
you?
I'm 5'3.5".
Okay, Lucy, you're taller than me. I used to be on my driver's license it says I'm 5'2". Everybody has noticed that I've been shrinking a little bit, and so I don't know. I need to get my height done
That
again.
comes with age. That comes
Yeah,
with age when you
I
shrink.
know. Yeah, it happened to my grandmother too, so I was expecting it. My shoe size has gone down, like everything is just crazy. My clothes are too big. They're hanging off my butt. They're just dribbling away to nothing. And
my
but
kids,
anyway,
my kids tease me. All my kids, my daughters, 3 daughters are 5'8", and
mhm,
my one son, my youngest son is 6'2", and
yeah.
my older son is 6 foot right on.
Yeah, no,
So yeah, they're all tall. They tease
none of
me.
my kids got that blessing, and so in fact, they're all mad because I'm short, because I'm short, they're short, and so they're like, if we could have just got one gene, could we just gotten the height from Dad's family, and then gotten the looks from yours, and like my son looks exactly like his dad, and Garen and I, even when we look at him, we're like, oh my gosh, and now our grandson looks exactly like him. And so I told Karen, I'm like, this is just recessive. It's just going to keep going, the bald heads and all that crap. And short.
Yep.
So they get mad at me because I'm so short. Like, I don't even know how to help you. And
Yeah, my
my
son's
daughter,
gotten on to
especially.
me for being short as well.
Yeah.
Even though he's
Hey,
just at 6
great
foot.
things come in short packages.
That's
Yeah.
what I keep saying. I'm like, I keep telling G, I'm like, hey, I said, here's the thing. I said, got this little package over here, and you don't want to treat me real good, somebody else will. Like, don't need, yeah. I don't know, because the smallest package, what would you think? A diamond ring. There you go.
Nah, I don't like diamonds. I rather dirt.
Age in cold water causes shrinkage. I
Age
didn't know
in
that.
cold causes shrinkage.
Yeah,
Age.
age or cold water.
Wow.
It says water, does it not?
Yeah,
I'll
it says
turn it
water.
over.
Yep.
That's interesting because what do they do? What is it's not I was gonna say cryo something. It's the little doohickeys that you get into. It's like ice water, like an ice water chamber, and it's supposed to pump you up, get your blood flowing and all that. I always thought cold water was good for you. Well, then I'm just screwed because there's cold water everywhere, and my on-demand propane water heater is not hooked up yet. It's also another thing that's sitting waiting to be installed. Probably do that at the same time that we do the generator and get it hooked up. I'm just totally screwed then. So
Yeah.
I'll be 3 feet tall by the time I die. Good night. But
I know. I
can't.
got my shortness from my great grandma on my dad's side. She was 4 something.
Wow. You're a legal midget.
I know.
I cannot believe I literally got to say that about somebody. I never get to do that. And Garen tells me I'm close. That's why he keeps letting me know. He's like, "You're getting shorter. You're close to being a legal midget." And I'm
At
like,
least if we fall, we don't got a
long way to go down.
far to drop.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. I remember like all the tall girls, there's one girl, we ended up being friends. All right. We weren't very good friends, but we ended up being friends. But man, she was super tall. And like she'd give me a hard time once in a while. My dad told me, he said, "Hey, he goes, taller they are, the harder they fall." And I'm like, okay, so I just have to make sure to get her off her legs. And he's like, "That's right."
It's funny. It got me thinking when I was at home. My son took me to Home Depot, and we were looking at all the the plumbing and stuff. And a lady come over and grabbed my son by the arm, and his fiance. They've been, well, you might as well say wife. They're not married, but they've been together for 20 years. He's wondering what the heck is he doing going down over there. And this lady grabbed him by the arm and took him down the end of the aisle. And she needed to get something way up top. And
Yeah.
because of my son being almost 6'3", right? He turned around, he reached up, grabbed it, came back over, and another lady was coming down. And she says, "Oh, if that would have been me, I would have just climbed up the shelves." I said, "Hey, when I worked at Walmart, I always climbed the shelves when I needed something because you could never find anybody to help you."
I know. I'm always looking for something. First, I look around me, see if I can get anybody's attention to get something up top. If there's nobody around, then I will climb.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll have to even go out into the aisle and look for I'll look at customers. It's terrible. I'll look at the other customers in there and just trying to see who's the tallest. Like if I could grab them, they just do an old lady a favor, right? And then if I can't find that, I'm climbing shelves. And sometimes I just can't, depending, like if it's a large can or a large box or something like that, then I'm having to, it's so bad, I have to finagle other things, like with my fingertips to try to push and use other goods in order to get it out to drop it off the shelf. And then what was the other thing? That one was super funny. I'd done it. Gosh darn it. I thought about it. It flashed in my head and I was going to share it with you because crock pots. I was trying to find the right size crock pots because I needed them for the kitchen when we go mobile and that kind of thing. We have electricity. And so I was trying to put in crock pots. The one left in stock. And that was the one I wanted. And it's clear up on the top shelf. There was no crawling to get that because it definitely would have ended up on the ground. And so I just grabbed another crock pot and that I could find that was, big, taller box. And you got to do, girls got to do what you got to do. And so I just climbed the box and then grabbed my crock pot. And no dent, no damage. It's covered in styrofoam. I didn't hurt nothing.
So I looked it up. If you're under 4'10", you're a dwarf or a midget.
Okay.
A dwarf.
Right.
Yeah.
A dwarf. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet, so I'm good.
No. Yeah. Wait till you get older.
Did you know this? I was shocked. Did you know this, little Miss Prepper? Did you know that at least in the state of Kansas, you and I should be in booster seats?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, something about how the seatbelt, they're explaining something about how the seatbelt fits. And I'm like, well, yeah, because if I get into an accident, my seatbelt's going to take my head off because it like cuts me. And so I found this Velcro and I just put it down and it slides on there so that it comes more over. But I'm sure because I'm adjusting the seatbelt the way I'm not supposed to, it can't necessarily be safe. But oh well, yeah. So
just put a cushion under your butt when you're sitting in a seat, and it brings you up higher.
I can't because then I can't reach the pedals. Like I'm telling you, this is a thing.
I know. I got short legs too.
That's what Skeins is on me. She's like, put a pillow on your butt. Like, if I put a pillow under my butt, I can't reach the pedals.
Then you need a pillow behind your back too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but if you put a pillow under your butt, get yourself a special pair of shoes that has like Herman Monster in the movies, and you got that big boot.
No, I just keep doing what I do, and I just, I try to pay attention to, accidents and other people. Except for when it's, 2:00 in the morning and I'm flipping tired and just trying to get home. And it wasn't 2, it was about 1. And just trying to get home as fast as possible. I got a ticket, Monday morning. $164 for doing
Oh.
80. Well, he said I was doing 85, but I was doing 80, and he did ticket me for doing 85, but it's not worth fighting or anything else because it's the same fine even at 80. So I'll just send it in.
Yeah.
And I may even kiss the ticket and just let him know, give him that little kiss my butt. That he was crude. He was just not a nice guy. I'm sure he'd
A lot
had
of them
it.
aren't.
Well, but a lot of them are good. So, I'd rather say a lot of them are good rather than a lot of them are bad. He just had a chip on his shoulder, but
Somebody ticked him off probably before somebody ticked him off before he saw you.
Yeah, or maybe his shift. I'm trying to remember how Ian's shifts work. But it could have maybe been just at the beginning of a shift and maybe check-in didn't go very well. I don't know. But it was apparent he was having a bad day because it was almost like he was provoking me to get hot under the collar. And dude, you really don't have to be this way. Just give me the ticket. So literally you're wasting your time. And I didn't say that I was trying to be respectful, but literally you're wasting my time. And you know that I need to get home, that I am heading home. And it is a long night to get home because we still had another 5 hours to go. And he had my driver's license, so he knew where we frickin' lived. And so he knew we were 2 states away. And so this guy, he's going on. And I'm like, I admit I was doing 60 or doing 80. And he wanted to argue with me whether or not I was doing 80 or 85. Okay, fine. I was doing 85. Just give me the ticket. I own what I did. It was me. It was my mistake. But anyway, so, it is a hard job. I get it. But now I also understand why somebody who doesn't have the patience has a little bit of violent streak or something like that. Now I can understand why Illinois has a lot of high traffic arrests. I get it.
Yeah.
So I get it because I and everybody knows, right? In Illinois, you can't carry your guns, can't be loaded. You got to have them separate areas and that kind of thing.
And
not saying it happened, but we was scrambling, and then because you have them in 2 separate areas, you can't get to them, and SHTF happens. You're supposed to protect yourself. Garrett G would have no cover in order to get everything ready, and nor would I. And so I could see it, but oh well, it's too bad. I'll keep praying for him that he has a better day.
There you go. I looked it up in Florida, sir. So for people that need booster seats and to drive, 4'9".
4'9". So you do need usually you're 4'10", right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Or less than 8 years old, but weighs more than 40 pounds. So it's tall or age weight.
The weight. Yeah. The weight.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the one on Kansas, there was what do they drive Kansas to 0 or something like that? And they were talking about on there in recommendations, and it was they gave the height, and they gave an age, and then they gave the weight. And I'm like, that's most adults. They're going to have to be in a booster seat to see, how that does. But I don't know. I sit too close onto my steering wheel because I can't reach my pedals. And that's what scares me. That's why I try to worry about, other people so I don't get in an accident, because I know if that airbag goes off, I am so screwed.
Yeah, see, I am close. My feet are close, but I can sit back. I have the back part far enough back where I feel comfortable, but also I am away from the steering wheel, as I believe is good.
Right. My red is 4'10" and 95 pounds. Yeah, so she'd have to be red would have to be in a car seat then, right? No, you said 4 foot. Oh,
no,
4'9".
Right outside. 4'9" and 40 or 80 pounds.
80 pounds.
80 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow, so
80 pounds.
The red doesn't have to go in a booster seat. You're all good.
And I looked it up for Kansas. Yeah, you're about the same thing. 4'9".
Yeah.
Or the child weighs more than 80 pounds.
Yeah.
You can come out if the child weighs more than 80 pounds?
They need to be
Yeah.
in a booster seat if they're 80 pounds or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't pay attention very well. I'll have to look at that and maybe see if something changed. When was when was that published?
I don't know. I just asked Google.
Yeah, so sometimes it'll bring you up, whatever search the most, and it won't bring you.
July the 11th of this year.
Okay, all right. Well, then I must have misunderstood something. You never know. I could be the way that I watch TV and all that. I'm cooking because I just need the background noise, and I could have been thinking 4 cups of sugar, 4 cups of whatever, and so you know how you get all kinds of numbers going,
Yeah.
and yeah, so you never know. I own it. I'm flaky sometimes, so oh man, I had some spaghetti and I wasn't thinking, and because it was for another event and something that was going on, and I had 2 spaghetti jars that did not seal all the way, which was no big deal. I brought them home and we ate that for dinner today. And there was something I must have got something because I ate it and I started itching and I went after my Benadryl. So I'm probably not going to stay on forever and probably try to get out in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. But that reminds me of something else. So what I wanted to ask, because it was interesting to me how many people this weekend that I did see that were stacking up and getting their food and freeze-dried food and all that. How many people out there, you just put a 1 in the chat. How many of you guys have already started getting into your rations, into your stuff, your preps? I know
I haven't.
yeah, I know that we constantly are trying to rotate and that kind of thing. But now I'm seeing, like today, I completely ran out of flour. If I had any more cinnamon rolls and stuff, I would have done it. This is the 4th bucket that I had to fill this year. And so I told G, you don't grab another bucket for me out there, but I have specialty flour, so he can't bring me just any flour. It's got to be AP flour. But so we'll look and see. But yeah, I may have to start picking up and putting more stuff away. And it's just because, you think you have so much and you got to rotate it that you're like, well, if we already have that much back there, I'm not going to pick any more up. Big mistake. So I think
Yes.
always replace it. Big mistake. So it's not a big
See,
deal. I've got hard wheat on, in buckets, but I don't right now. I really don't want to use that because hard wheat berries, you can actually bucket for 30 years and they're still good. Where, already ground flour, you can't. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've still got 2 buckets, 5-gallon, I'd say 2.5-gallon buckets, 1 of flour and 1 of rice. Because I do, and that was 2 years ago, and
Right.
it's because I do about 4 or 5 buckets each.
Right.
And I had I have my flour, and then I have my oatmeal. Because I change my breakfasts every morning. I have something different every morning. And plus I bake cookies and stuff like that. But I'm just getting low now, and it's been 2 years. So now I'm going to replenish before winter comes. I'll replenish and fill it all. And then I'm good for another 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, we're actually talking about. Go ahead. You're actually.
Yeah, I also do salt and sugar too.
Right. Sorry, Lucy. Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
we will. I notice my sugar is the same way because of the cinnamon rolls. I just plow through this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't like to just run to anywhere and grab that stuff. I prefer, if I can, to make it up to Amish country, and then I can go into the store and get it there. It's just cheaper, and I know I'm supporting like-minded instead of Walmart and Sam's Club, major corporations, so I can starve them out a little bit, and I know I'm getting pretty decent fresh stuff. So we are planning on a trip this month. We'll see how I may have to put it off though, because the SOE party, I may have to do it in December. But we plan to make a trip up there, and I got to fill the truck with stuff. I need to make sure I've got more flour and sugar and all that stuff. But I'll have to go audit what's back in the pantry first. So, but yeah, that's keep praying for Trump and our country, man, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe some of the stuff that I'm seeing, and it's sad. It's just so sad. Oh, I don't even know. And you can tell normal people are just they're short with patience. Nobody's smiling and laughing the way that they used to anymore. And and this is weird for Kansas. I've even noticed the amount of people just waving at each other has gone down. People are
Yep.
just I think they're burning the candle at both ends, and they're about short. So yeah, so just hang in there, pray, give it over, just turn everything over. This is it. All of this stuff is out of our control as of right now, because what has to be done for us to take back our country, we have to do it together, and not everybody's on the same page yet. We're all
No.
heading toward the same goal, but we're on different stages of our journey right now. So once we can get as many people squared away as possible, then we can go in and be. But remember, things take. You have the 3%ers. They were called that for a reason. The Minutemen. They were called that for a reason. It comes in layers, and so you just got to figure out where those layers are and see who the first volunteers are going to be to go in first, second, and third. So, but I sure am tired of people that I'm supposed to. You grew up military. You're supposed to have respect for your president no matter what, and he makes it so damn difficult. I mean, there's just times I'm garbage now. We're all garbage. I'm beneath him, and I'm gonna do what he says because his words. He owns all of the ships and the nuclear weapons and the guns and the military and all that. And it's just ever since he got in office, all he's been doing is threatening us. And that's a tyrant. That's not a government. That's not an elected official. Government worker.
Yep.
That is somebody that wants to rule with an iron fist. And I will not live that way. I just will
Nope,
not.
I wouldn't either. Nope. Look at our prime minister here.
Yeah.
He's a
Well,
laughing joke.
he was a really big laughing joke when Trump was in office, and now that Trump's not in office and we got Potato Head, now we're all you talk to Canadians and you're just like, oh, we're so ashamed. It's just nobody wants to admit that. So here we all gave you guys a hard time, and now we're reaping our rewards. So it just is what it is. But yeah, I had some other people come to me, and it was more than one, and I thought this was interesting. And they were trying to bring some news. I have not confirmed this news. Do not know where he got it. I was not invested enough to go in and do any research on it to see where he got it. So y'all take this with a grain of salt. Do you all remember that show? Oh my gosh. Not Survivor, Doomsday Preppers.
Oh yeah.
Doomsday. And so a couple of these people reminded me that the people on that show, that they were just, what's the point? What's the use? Yet they're at the show, they're at the event. What's the point? What's the use? The government owns everything. They're going to turn their guns against us. They already said they're going to arrest us. They're going to do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I don't care who it is. If it's the government, the police department, the sheriff's department, there are way more Americans than there are jails. They are not going to arrest everybody. Now, that being said, will they set examples? Yes, they will. And then, so be prepared for that. They already are. They already started that January 6th, right? So when it was, I forget what they called them, good old boys, that one guy, was he from Missouri? No, I think he was from Kansas, but Missouri-Kansas border. And there may have been one in Missouri as well. I know of the good old boys, but not any of them personally that I know of anyway. And so They're going to set examples because they're going to try to keep everybody in place. But if we watch that and see what they're doing, and then we take our cue on when it's time and appropriate for us to step in and follow their support, great. But you have to be super careful because right now it is not beyond them. We're not even talking war scenario. We're not talking political scenario, anything like that. They already have people that are pretending to be something they're not, officials, and they're doing it everywhere. They did it in the flood. They're going to also do that in any scenario because they're going to try to get you wound up. They need a show, right? That's the best way to put it. They need to show a show to put on because it's all theater. And so if you give them that show, then they can come in and say, this is exactly why Trump supporters are terrible. This is exactly why, Trump this or Trump that. This is exactly why our government has to control you and keep, monitor everything that you do because you cannot be trusted outside of the system. And so, right? So, hey, Homestead Rachel, you can't be trusted outside the system, and so then that way they can keep that. They're not galt, right? And so they're going to keep their hand over you and control you. The best way to be free and best thing we can do is to go gold. And so, but we have to do that united if we're going to make it count. Yep. So I just don't know, but I'm one person and it's going to take millions of people. So there's that too. I don't know. I'm so ticked off now. Even if I wasn't a Trump supporter, I'd go running over and voting for Trump. No lie. I'm so tired of all the lying. And you got Harris and all of her campaign ads. I don't know if any of you have noticed it or heard anything. I don't know, Lucy, if you get any of that information. But all of her ads, she's running on lies, absolute lies. And like, she's got the fact she put in there the one campaign that she's running that Trump made it illegal. Well, that he turned over Roe versus Wade, and then he made it illegal federally for anybody to have an abortion, be able to have an abortion. And what was the other thing? The other thing was that he caused. She was saying that he wants the states to mandate and look over your pregnancy, like they'd be tracking you and doing all that to make sure that you don't have an abortion. Okay, first of all, several things to those comments, Mrs. Harris. Several things to those comments. One is unconstitutional. 2, the other is unconstitutional. 3, the other is unconstitutional. You get where I'm going with this? And so, you cannot, when it's against the law for you to do some of this stuff, there's such thing called HIPAA. Government doesn't have any right to my medical file. Trump's not stupid.
No.
He knows that. The government cannot see my medical file. And so unless I was awarded to the state, I would say, I don't know. But even then, I don't think federal could come in unless they were investigating something. I don't know how that would work. But with the HIPAA laws, you can't do that. I can't tell little Miss Prepper she can't go have heart surgery or because I have to monitor it. Like, this is not even a thing. So you have to be able to recognize the lies. And Garrett and I talked, and I'm like, are people really that dumb that they're just buying everything that she's saying? And he said, yeah, if they are out, it's not that they're dumb, it's just that they're naive because they've been so far out of that circle and in the social mainstream media, they've been involved in it for so long, all they've heard is those lies, right? So, it goes back into that, how do you start a habit? You have to do it 21 times. And so, if you get that in 21 times, then people are sucking it up and they're like, oh my gosh, she's the greatest ruler in the world. But I tell you what, there's an interview, Garen and I are cracking up laughing. Oh, we were laughing so hard. CNBC did a CNBC. They did an interview and the panel had such a hard time finding anybody that was not a Trump supporter. Like, I don't even know how that happened. But this is when all the ugliness really started coming out after they did. And so Obama had gone into a barbershop, and it was all Black men of all ages, and then they put together a female panel of all Black women, and they started talking about Kamala Harris. And so I truly believe that they were expecting that these men and women going to support Kamala Harris and Biden on everything. That is not what happened. In fact, they started bashing her, the women, and made a comment and said it's awful convenient when she wants to get into office that she's Indian and something else. And then it's also convenient that now she changes her history again and now she's a Black woman. So you vote for her because she's a Black woman. She's not, and that's what these women were saying. She's not. And so, because that's really how they feel. The men were so disgusted with Obama when he went in and he started talking about the young brothers, so they need to be supporting, Kamala Harris, and here's why, and all of that, and other garbage. And, he's also non-Black. And so he offended them in several different ways. You got to go look it up. See, CSNBC interview and on that, and it may just be women's panel, men's panel. You got to go look at it, and it's craziness. So it really shows you where the people are at right now, and I think I love it because I think that they were really they're trying their damnedest to divide this country by color and making it racist again, which left is really good about doing. And because one's worthless, the other one's worthless, and they tell each ethnic group something different, so that everybody gets mad at each other. And you ought to go look it up, because this, you could see normal people that think like we do. Normal people are not taking the bait. They're not taking it. We absolutely know what they're up to, and we're not taking it. And so, and especially that's like, all these, you get in and people that are on the videos and you see prepper this and homesteading that and that kind of thing. I love seeing that. And there's more and more and more that are coming in. And this is good, because that means there are more of us out there like us. That's what we need. That is what we need. Gotta lurk. Did I even read that right? Yeah. For a bit. Be right back. Yeah. Lurkers. I like lurkers. So, but yeah, so it's very interesting to kind of see where all that's at. But sorry, I was just looking at the time, kind of see where we're at. But yeah, well, I'm gonna just say, you guys, so more important than ever to make sure that you're stocking and prepping and getting everything situated. Whatever you're gonna store on the hoof, whatever you need to plan and get done. Water is going to be a big issue. When they can't control us with mind games and all of that, they will control us with what we like and what we absolutely need to survive. So make sure you have plenty of water on hand, and a way to filter everything would even be better. So if you can get all that water filtered, get water containers and catchment system and all of that stuff in. G's got a video on ours that you can go to and look at. Can be done with an IBC too. So you can literally store away 350 gallons a piece, in one area, and then have them in different spots. He waters the goats and sheep with one. Get your wills in. If you thought about it, do it. I don't know, Little Miss Pepper, you guys, Florida, well, you guys your family's selling the house, so I don't know. But if you were able to stay there in Florida, I remember my dad in Jacksonville, he actually used a hose and made a well from the water that was coming up, because the water table is so high.
Yeah. I mean, we also live here where we live in that now. It does have a well already. So it's just for when the power goes out, you just need to have hand pump for it.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I bail. I bail with a pail. A rope and a pail.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you haul your water. Lucy, I give you credit, girl.
And I only do it in the wintertime, because in the summertime, my husband took a small little pump. If you know anybody who's got old trailers or anything, they have pumps in them, water pumps, little tiny ones. And he hooked it up to, I use a 12-volt battery. and I put a garden hose in the well, and I've got it to the pump. So, and then I have a garden hose right up here to the cabin, just till it starts freezing. Then I drain all my lines, and then I
Right.
put everything away. But in the summertime, the battery, I only have to charge it once. I have it charged in the spring, and then halfway through the summer, I will take it on a day that I'm not using it, because I've got about 10 55-gallon barrels that I collect rainwater for my garden, for my livestock. But we take the battery and we hook it up to my solar panels. I got 400 watts of solar panels, and we hook it up there and recharge it. And then I use it for the rest of the summer. I put the batteries away because they can't be out in the cold.
Right.
But that's, I do that in the summertime. But in the wintertime, yeah, I chop through the ice, and I bale it.
Right. Right.
But see, on my property, we also have natural springs. We have a big marsh in the back, and then we have natural springs that bubble up out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. We've got, luckily, if something were to happen, we've got water catchment now. We've got, well, yeah, I don't even care anymore. We've got a well. And then we have the solar and everything for the well to get the well running. The well is just not hooked up to the house anymore, I don't think. And well, I know it's not, because the well pump is not in the back of the house. If it is hooked up, I don't see it. So we've got that option there. And we've got to get, it was like the little doohickey fountain that goes in your pond to kind of keep that green grass and everything off. He got a pump for that to kind of get that going. It's just not up. So, because what we were doing, we were trying to get as many items as we possibly could before we couldn't get them anymore. And so we've had everything. So we'll stay pretty busy during the winter, or he will. I know I will, because I'll be cooking all winter. But he will stay pretty busy, because we have everything for a lot of projects. He says he's going to get my clawfoot bathtub in. We'll see how that goes. I just put an extra festival on him, so I'm not going to push him. But if he's still going with me, I don't know. I think he may be, because they're talking about building some racks and some other kind of stuff. I think Hacks is going to do it, and so I think he's bringing some stuff out. So I think if he comes, Garen will come. So anyway, all right, ladies, it is 8:21, and I'm beat. I got stuff to do. Scanes will be pulling in here in about a half hour to an hour. So
usually she texts me and lets me know. Usually she texts me and lets me know she's on the road. So then if she and she didn't this time.
Yeah, I think she was not planning until leaving until tomorrow. But with the storms we've got coming Saturday, she really needs to get her stuff here today, and she needs to unload tomorrow. I'm just hoping she didn't get stuck, but she doesn't get stuck. And she brought a winch with her, so hopefully she'll be able to get herself out. But there's not a lot of trees to hold on to. I'm not sure.
Oh,
but
wow.
she can always call me. I can drive the truck over and do all of that. But no, seriously, I do need to go, because I need to run to the loo. And I know if I don't and she walks in the door, I will not get to go, because she talks. I love her, but she gets excited. She people. And so we get to talk it, and then I don't make it. So I make it.
I'm gonna call it a night too. I've been up since 4:30, so
oh man.
And I was working before the big rains came. I was out in the garden working this morning.
Right.
Moving manure and everything. Yeah, because where I plant all in my where I have my rows of tires, I redone the soil, and I put chicken manure, and then I put new soil on top, and I've closed them all down. I'm going to do my zucchini and my cabbage there next year. So as I'm working and I'm closing everything down, I'm looking over my garden to see where I don't want to plant this here, because it was too big for my bed, or vice versa, where I'm going to plant new stuff and everything. I'm already trying to plan my garden for next year.
That's good. Yeah, you got to start now. Hey guys, seriously, I need to get out.
Yep, goodbye.
So it was good seeing you,
Take
ladies.
care.
All right, have a blessed evening.
You too. And tomorrow be at least 1% better than you were today. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining in. And we will see everybody on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another Ladies Night Live. Have a blessed evening, everybody.
And go live a life done free. Take care. God bless.